Alright, now before we start this video off, because I know a lot of people just read the title and be like, let me go to the comments and not look at the video. Is RWBY Beyond actually terrible? I mean, a little bit. But I think there's a lot of things in it that's good, and I'm going to state what's good in this video, but I'm also going to state why it's really, really bad. So, you know what I'm saying? Stick around for all of it, because I do like it, but I also really hate it. So yeah, just please stick around for the whole thing, because I hate people who just go to the comments, like they just read the title, see the title, and say, how about I give my no, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because now you look stupid when I answer a question. Now you look dumb. Now you look el stupido. So don't do that. Don't do that. With that being said, just let's hop into the video. The concept overall is a fine idea because of the budget cuts and things of that nature. So we're not going back and extending on, you know, things that were cut out. We're just giving you stuff for practically volume 10, and that's perfectly fine. My only issue with this core concept is this is RWBY Beyond. So what makes that bad? Well, it's still RWBY, isn't it? Yes, but it's a side series, and this side series is something that most people who watch RWBY probably aren't going to see because it's a side series. Nobody wants to sit here and look at side series or side content or side things unless you're a super fan of the series. But if you're not a core watcher, you know what I'm saying, if you don't want to check this shit out every day and you're a regular just enjoyer of the series, you're probably not going to know about it and or care about it unless your friend or unless it's promoted on social media where it says this is very important. You're 9 times out of 10 not going to care for it. And that's why the core concept of RWBY Beyond is automatically bad, because not many people who watch the show will know about it and or care about it. So how do you mitigate this confusion? Well, simply add all of these events in volume 10, but make them better. That's it. So, RWBY Junior Detectives episode. I thought this episode was fine. I mean, it was good. We got Sun, we got Neptune, and that's what you would like to see, correct? And they're doing the usual junior detective thing. Yay, RWBY Chibi, yay, funny, yay, bring back the moments, and this is good. Like, I know it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but like, this is good. But this episode has one issue, and I mean, it has, well, not one, but it has multiple issues. Issue number 1, Ozpin and Oscar. The bad thing about this is how Oscar's moving. I've seen a lot of theories, I've seen a lot of this and that, and I have to say, making Ozpin and Oscar's transformation right now is the worst thing to do right now. Oscar has already been described as a character that isn't done, that isn't complete. Rushing Ozpin's merging process onto a unfinished character will only make that character's story have to be rushed out or end before it even starts. That is a terrible idea. Now, I don't know if they're just doing this to do this and I'm overthinking it, but going off of fan speculation and what we've gotten thus far, I think the merging process is fine. I think it's good. I think it's understandable. But I think having it progress this fast is terrible, and I mean terrible for RWBY. I love this series. I love the show. I'm always going to sit here and praise it, but I just hate this writing decision. Oscar is a good character. I like him as a character, but he's not finished. He needs more. He needs more depth, more just things, more in general. So why would you rush his merging process and make him less of a character? Or then, on top of that, you're going to have to rush to finish him if you do want to finish him as a character. I just view it as a bad thing to do overall. You're trading in an entire character and he's not finished. Issue number 2, this frame right here. Everybody was so hyped. Oh my god, Theodore. Oh my god, Ozpin. Oh my god, Winter. Oh my god, Raven. But here's the issue here. Why is Raven there? Why is Raven there? Sure, we'll probably get it in volume 10, but why is she there for RWBY Beyond like nothing just happened? Sure, I wrote about this in my stuff for Raven. Yeah, I did. However, you gotta give an explanation for that. You can't just show this in RWBY Beyond and just be like, yeah, bro, people should understand this. I feel like this scene would be a lot better if Raven wasn't there. Why is Raven there? Raven should be in Timbuktu somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, Raven has shown no interest in this, and obviously I think she would have an interest in this because seeing the news and what's happening, I think she would want to go out there to see at least what's happening or how her Boba's daughter doing? I think it makes sense for her to be there. I just don't think it makes sense for her to be there now. Like, show us, like, if you were gonna put Raven there, give us something beforehand to show Raven and then show her going over here. I think that's a lot more better, because this just comes off as a fucking surprise. And if RWBY Volume 10 doesn't explain this and just goes right after RWBY Beyond, expecting people to pick up these pieces, that is terrible execution, and that is just blatantly bad. Theodore. Now, I know Theodore is described more in the books, and I haven't read any of the books related to him, but the main point with Theodore is, if you're somebody like me who hasn't looked at the books, you probably don't know who the fuck this is. And yes, they say it, but that's the thing, they have to say it for you to recognize who this person is. You probably wouldn't know who this person is and would just think he's some person of power, but currently this character has no weight to people who've never seen those books. And I love RWBY, but I'm not interested enough to see those books featuring him. So other people just like me and or regular fans or enjoyers won't know who the fuck this is and or care, which, like I said, when Volume 10 comes around, they'll have to show this. They'll have to give him impact, show his stature, show everything, his status, what he does, his achievements. We'll have to know about these things and see these things. The biggest issue now is the girl in the robe. Everybody thinks this is Summer. Everybody thinks this is another Silver Eyes warrior. Everybody thinks this is the final maiden. If it is, this is stupid. In my opinion, I don't know why this is added here. And it's not even to say, well, it's not following my version of RWBY, so this is bad. I'm not saying that, and I will not ever say that. I think this is bad for one thing and one thing only. We're progressing the plot too fast. We have so much that's getting thrown at us, and these characters aren't fleshed out. You're trying to progress the plot at Mach a million, yet these characters aren't getting progressed at Mach a million as well. Why are you doing this? You're going to have to play catch up with the characters you've established, where the shit shouldn't be like that. I think what makes a good story is having your characters established first, and or progressing it with the same pace or even a bit faster than the plot in of itself. That way we could get everything as a whole finished. But this feels like we're moving too fast. If this is a maiden, we're moving too fast. Now we have a potentially new character that we need to have explained, and that's terrible. Since she looks like Summer and RWBY, now we have to question, who is this mysterious figure? If this is Summer, how is she alive? If she even is alive, or if this is just a vision of the past or things of that nature. It's very weird, it's very confusing, and I don't know if it's there to just throw in a hint or not. A Knight's Journal. Now, I think this episode is beautiful. It's really good, and obviously, like I will always praise, Miles just gets in his bag with John. Miles is actually just an amazing voice actor. Like, people need to give him his flowers. He's just so fucking good. Like, always gives it his all for like every scene, does both sides really well, and just nails everything. Like, I really love his voice acting, as you can tell. But yeah, but there's one issue here, and it's the same issue I said previously, but Ozpin. That's all it is. It's Ozpin and Oscar. I love the advice they give. I love the visions. I love everything like that. Even the message. But why are you merging Oscar and Ozpin this fast? I get it. That's the thing we have to know. That's the thing we have to be wary of. But like I said, Oscar isn't fully established as a character. Us merging him right now is terrible, because guess what? We just lost Oscar and he's not a fully fleshed out character. Let's finish Oscar first. Let's finish him as a character first before we have this merging process, because as we know from this merging process, there's no way of coming back. There is no way. Once Ozpin takes over, he takes over. Gone. Adios. You're out of there. So why are we making Oscar disappear bit by bit before his character's finished? Let's finish him as a character first, and then we could have the merge fully complete. That way we have a finished character, a character that's good, a character to cast care for, and then we have the merging process to further push the plot. Now we have a finished character, the plot progressed, and Ozpin is back. Thank you. Now we're progressing along. But this right now feels counterproductive, because now you're trading in a character that isn't finished for a already complete character and furthering the plot, which the plot is already moving at Mach a million. So you're furthering something that doesn't need to be furthered because your characters are suffering because they haven't played catch up with the plot yet. And like I said, I just view it as a very, very, very bad thing. Please stop doing this. I'm not saying don't show signs of the merging process, but please let's focus on Oscar as a character to finish them first and then get the merge back on track, because you're pushing the plot too fast now. You're pushing it too fast, and I'm not saying you're pushing it too fast for people to not understand, but you're pushing it too fast to where you'll have to rush characters, and you don't want to rush characters. The Adventures of Somewhat. Now this is very easy, like it's very easy to get along. I have no really strong opinions about this besides the Red Prince, and lastly the end scene. So the end scene, it just features, you know, Juniper and Somewhat, and they're going through and they say, well, you're back. So the only person left in the Ever After is Neo, and that's the only place we could just assume is back. I'm just confused because Neo is supposed to be in a tree and these people are in a desolate land. Like they are somewhere in like Cthulhu's realm. Like where are they? So you're saying you're back. Neo was just near the portal. Like her body was in the tree near Ruby's near the portal. Why are we in Cthulhu's realm? Where did she go? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's Neo. There's a chance it couldn't be Neo. It could, like imagine it's the brothers or something. Obvious, I don't think it would be. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be Neo. And if it is Neo, cool. I just don't understand why they wouldn't show her. And like I said, maybe you have some things going on with her. Maybe you don't. I have no clue. The writers have already established that, you know, Neo's not returning and things like that. Which, like I said, please hire me. Please hire me. Please hire me. Bro, I have stuff writ for Neo. I have stuff writ for fucking, for Raven. Stuff writ for Tyrion. I could write for everybody else. I promise you, the writing phenomenal. Mwah, yes, mwah, just absolutely beautiful. Please, because if you're not doing something with her, I could do something with her. Pause, but all freaky. But still pause, but all freaky. But honestly, in all seriousness, if this is Neo, cool, I understand it. If she does look different, it's a bit weird how they know who she is, but maybe they can just assume. And if she looks the same, then cool, you know, interested in a new design if we do see her. But like I said, all of this does and doesn't matter unless we get it in actual RWBY. Final episode, Boba. Now a bunch of people mentioned this in my Yang video. Oh, but they had the Boba scene in RWBY Beyond. They had the Boba scene in RWBY Beyond. So I'm here to talk about the Boba scene because, you know, I wanted to do a video on this separately instead of including it there. So, Boba Beyond. Everybody says this proves Yang is a good sister. Does it? Kinda, not really. But yes, no, maybe so, a little bit, yeah. So first off, like I will always say in my main argument, this has to be in RWBY. I don't care if it is in RWBY Beyond. I'm glad we have it, and I'm glad the writers can acknowledge it. But I am annoyed that this is saved for RWBY Beyond. Have this in the actual series because it doesn't matter if it is in Beyond or not. Yes, people who are super fans of RWBY are going to watch RWBY Beyond and say, oh my god, I love it, oh my god, this matters so much to me. But regular fans, people who ain't gonna give a fuck about this because it's not attached to the main storyline, because it's not attached to the actual show RWBY, and it's a separation because RWBY Beyond, people aren't gonna watch this. People aren't going to give a fuck about this because all this is lore dump and some funny moments. That's all RWBY Beyond is. Lore dump with some funny moments. If this isn't in RWBY Volume 10 in of itself, and I'm not saying they have to do the same thing word for word, bar for bar, just have them hang out as sisters, and boom, we're good. But my issue with this episode isn't what happened. It's the awareness from the writers, and it's the writers poking fun at other people. So what do I mean? Well, Yang and RWBY exchanged this dialogue.
If you make this no fun, I probably just won't ever want to be sisters again. See how dumb that sounds?
And this line of, I don't want to be sisters again, is so ignorant. And I understand why they're saying it. They're saying it because this is a common phrase said by a bunch of people. Oh my god, Yang is a terrible sister, this. So they're saying it to practically give the biggest middle finger and say, fuck all of y'all who said this. We're proving you wrong with this episode right here. That's all it is a big middle finger to everyone. And here's the thing. If you want to do a big middle finger to the people who said that statement to prove them wrong, fine, I have no issues with that. But the reason this comes off as bad is because you're attacking the statement, but you don't know where the statement is coming from. Like I stated before in my Yang is a bad sister video, or Yang is a terrible sister video. Yes, Yang isn't a actual terrible sister. We can understand she cares for RWBY. She loves her sister, but it's not shown in the series, or it's not shown that much. Or RWBY often feels like the build up to such moments to have it snatched away from her. That's why Yang's impact on RWBY feels so less to viewers, because you're taking away the spotlight from her to give to another character, or you're not acknowledging her like you used to, or you're not talking about her like you used to. So when people say Yang is a bad sister and Yang and RWBY don't feel like sisters anymore, or Yang and RWBY don't deserve to be sisters anymore, you're not understanding the perspective and where that comes from. I think people saying RWBY and Yang shouldn't be sisters anymore is a stupid claim. However, I can recognize where that claim is coming from, and that claim comes from what we're shown in the series. And this is why I dislike this, because you're attacking the claim without understanding the perspective of the claim. A claim can sound outright dumb, outright stupid, but you have to understand the perspective of said claim, because that perspective will make you realize, hold on, maybe they're onto something. Hold on, maybe they have a point. So this line right here is something that annoyed me, because it shows you can hear what the fans are saying, but you're not acknowledging and understanding the perspective of what the fans are saying. So your point of doing a big middle finger to prove everybody wrong, in fact, you just look like you don't understand where they're coming from. Yes, it's a big middle finger to the statement, but you're not understanding where it's coming from, so you're automatically wrong to begin with, because it shows you're not open-minded enough to understand. You're not knowing enough to see that perspective, and that's the issue there. And that's my biggest issue with this episode. I think what they talk about is cool. I like the Boba stuff. I think it's fine. I think it's cool. I have no issues with any of this. I think it's really cool. I think it's dope. I think it's cute. But my issue with this has always, and I mean always, been that line. I think it's a good scene, and I think it deserves to be an actual RWBY. This will make me feel really good about Yang if it was an actual RWBY. But saving this just for RWBY Beyond feels bad. It feels terrible, and it feels like the writers just don't know what they're doing. That's why. I hate these lines where the writers sit here and try to poke fun of the fans, and that's not a bad thing. Like I said, there are some fan bases and some claims where I think it's just generally stupid. I think like there's some RWBY things that people say that are genuinely dumb. I'm fine with that. Right? I'm fine if a writer wants to attack these people in a certain way by angling a sentence or a line directed at them to practically tell you, shut the fuck up, stop complaining. I'm fine with that. It's funny, it's cool, and it could show that, guess what, you know what you're doing. However, RWBY's cases where they've done this with the Marrow line, and this right here shows that you don't understand the perspective of which the fans are coming from. Is the claim outlandish? Of course. Is the claim super exaggerated? Obviously, but you have to still understand the point and the mindset of where that comes from. You making fun of it shows that you didn't understand that, and that's the issue there. With that being said, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. It was cool to talk about RWBY Beyond and, you know what I'm saying, just all of that. You already know it's coming, but please check out Neo Soul. I'll be releasing it every week or two. So, you know, just check it out. Give it a chance. You know, it's a good read. It features Neo, features myself, and I, you know, expand upon all these other existing characters like the Malachite twins, Roman Torchwick, things of that nature. Some new characters, some OCs, and I want to get some fans involved whenever we do get that started and like starts to take off. But yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace.